Hello, everybody. Welcome back.
Hello,
Hello,
Adam.
hello.
Hello.
Have you got your shit together, Elf? Are you gonna be okay?
No. Anytime for the next 3 weeks, somebody mentions a chicken, I'm gonna start laughing and nobody will know why.
Yep, that's fair. That's totally fair.
Mm.
Okay, so let's meet Rolf Bull, shall we?
Mm.
Um,
What
so
about what about poor Brace walking along the
Oh,
road
I'm just
all
wandering around
lonely?
in the darkness. It's fine.
yeah, there's things that would happen in the time that Brace is like making
That
that
I mean
long
that's
walk.
that's
So
that's true. I just she's
I'm making
she's
a very
poor
long
alone
walk.
Brace.
It's fine.
I definitely want to meet Rolf Ball though. Let's do it.
yeah. Okay. So you decide just to go in, or do you wait, or
I mean, depending on what the situation looks like how does the inside of this place look? Like if we go into the building,
mm-hmm.
like I imagine Rolf Ball has like an office or something. He's got would be like the managing office or something of this place.
So, I mean, generally the manager's office is like in the lobby, and is
Yeah,
not a
so
very
probably
glamorous
not
place.
that
Yeah.
actually.
So I think that there's a parking garage underneath that's been, you've maybe never been there, but there's a parking
Yeah.
garage underneath where all the drugs are manufactured. There's the lobby where you walk in. So, like on your left, there's this like cracked and kind of like dirty, like mirrored wall. Um, there's the former, like, if it was an apartment building, the manager's office, but it's like the security room. So they probably have like a rack of guns in there and like some of Rolf Ball's dudes. On the right, there's like a wall where the mailbox used to be, like all the mailboxes
Yeah,
that are
yeah,
built into the
yeah.
apartment wall. There's an elevator which obviously doesn't work anymore, and then there's stairs that lead up to the floors. Now there's only like, I would say, 3 or 4 floors left on this building. The top was like destroyed at some point. So the roof, the actual roof, is like whatever's left of the floor of the topmost floor. And then Rolf Ball lives in like the biggest apartment in the
The
top, at the
nicest
top. Yeah,
apartment, yeah.
yeah, it makes everybody. And actually, you know what? I think that the elevator is like manually powered. Like they don't use. They've refitted the elevator's
Got like a
structure.
crank
So
on
yeah,
it.
there is a generator or something where they like run it, but it's been like refitted. It's like open front, with like a metal grate that gets pulled down. Um, and in here, in this room, there's a couple of like couches, and there are a couple of Rolf Balls. Like he's got employees, right? He's got like toughs and stuff that do work
Yeah.
for him, and those guys aren't allowed to just lounge around. But he's also just got like sycophants and like followers and like his retinue. There's people. So there's a couple of like Rolf Ball's people just like hanging out in the main room.
So yeah, if we're making our way through the sort of lobby area towards the elevator, if there's anybody sort of like lounging around or anybody stops us or looks up
Yeah.
enough to like pay attention, I just go, "Where's Rolf Ball? Need to talk to him."
So Bill has an assistant, really more of like a manservant,
Yeah.
and that's who you run into. Bill's assistant. Let's find a name for Bill's assistant here. Bill's assistant's name is Shooter. So Bill's manservant Shooter. He is a not he's not a particularly smart man, nor is he a particularly brave or strong man.
Mm-hmm.
But he says things that Bill likes to hear, and he apparently serves some purpose for Bill. And he's down here waiting for him to come back. And you see him talking to some of Rolf Ball's like dudes. And Bill, or Shooter, turns to you, and he's like, "Ah, Dice, good to see you. Always nice to see a local entrepreneur." And he like reaches a hand out to like shake yours.
I shake his hand back
Yeah,
perfunctorily.
sure. And he's like, "You're here to see Rolf Ball, I imagine."
Yep, supplies a little late.
He he says, "Well, I don't I don't know about all that, but the mayor and Mr. Rolf Ball are in a very important meeting right now, and I'm sure as soon as they're done, Mr. Rolf Ball
Oh,
would be interested in seeing you.
it's Mr. Rolf Ball now, is it? Oh man, he just gets more and more respectable by the day, doesn't he?
And he says, the mayor treats every business person of Templetown equally. Mr. Rolf Ball is a magnate around here.
True enough. True enough. I suppose it's important to have the ear of your constituents, so to speak. Right. Well, when are they gonna be done? Because I'm kind of, I got stuff to do.
He puts his hands out helplessly and he says, the great wheels of bureaucracy turn at their own rate.
Here, I'll go add some grease, and I like head towards the elevator.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, you can you can head over there. One of the there's like an attendant. There's someone who like pulls the switch. The two of you get into the elevator, and
How's Ferris feeling about all this?
I think he's mulling over Mr. Ferris in his head because he sees himself also as a local business owner. So he's just a bit like just smiley to himself. Not that you'd see that. But...
Okay. Yeah, so you get in the elevator and it travels kind of like shakily up to the top floor. And this little area has been refitted as like a waiting room for Rolf Ball's like office. So again, there's some couches put around, a few of Rolf Ball's like sort of nobodies hanging out here, and then there are two of Bill's like elite guards that he calls the two members of his Secret Service, and they have like they wear armor that matches, which immediately sets them apart from like Rolf Ball's dudes. So they have this like matching like Kevlar vest, like black fatigue stuff, but like everything they're worn, right? Like they've been patched several times, and they're both wearing sunglasses. And they're waiting for the mayor, waiting for the mayor to come out of his meeting with Rolf.
I walk over to one of the couches and I like flop down, basically, like in the most sort of like I own this space imperious way possible, like devil may care, flop onto the couch. And look over from like the sort of like almost lying position, like where I am, going like, how long they been in there? Long? You guys getting bored?
You're saying this to the Secret Service guys?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they don't respond.
Oh, you're doing the silent thing. Yeah, the silent thing. That works for a little while. But you know what really works? The talking thing. I'm a big fan of the talking thing. So why don't we just fill this space in boredom with something? What's he in there for? Talking to Rolf Ball again about brass or needing a loan or the government's collapsing? Maybe he needs a new pair of underwear. Rolf Ball's gonna wipe his ass for him. I don't know.
They don't. Yeah, they don't respond. You're filling the silence sufficiently on your own.
I mean, I give them space, like when I'm watching their expression, like if I can't, like
they're pretty well trained, these guys. Yeah.
This is something I feel like I do a lot with these guys. Like,
right.
Like these guys are just the people that I just harass when I can, like you got to get your aggression out somewhere. And these guys are blank slates in which to do so.
Yeah.
So I go, fair enough. Yeah. All right. We'll do the not talking thing.
So I think at that point the door opens. You can hear the end of a conversation as Mayor Bill comes out of Rolf Ball's office, and Bill is he's probably in his 40s. He's a black guy. He's wearing a suit, but it's like a post-apocalypse suit, so like the pants and the jacket don't match. And he's got one sleeve of the jacket and the shirt under it like ripped off, because the sleeve is too small to contain his prosthetic cybernetic arm. Bill's right arm is this two-segmented metal armature. It's like a military prosthetic. It used to have like white plastic like covering, but it's all been like re-sprayed like black. And then at the end of it, it's like a five-finger like hand, but it's again like larger than the other arm by another quarter. And he's like bald, and he carries himself with this kind of boisterousness, and he's just finished this conversation with Rolf Ball, and he comes out, and the Secret Service guys like kind of fall in next to him, and he looks at you, like he just kind of like casts a glance over at you as he walks by.
Yeah, I haven't like sort of made a move to like get up and address him specifically. Oh, Ferris wants to.
No, I just waved.
Oh, okay.
That's what we've been doing. So, or at least that's...
you just wave to him.
Yeah.
I don't make a move to sort of like talk to him or engage him in any way. It's just kind of like a little sort of like eyebrow thing, you know, like just hey. And I pick myself up off the couch as he's sort of like leaving, and head over towards the door to Rolf Ball's.
The door hasn't even closed. Like Rolf Ball is standing in the door. Like he's probably like reaching for these two double doors. He's gonna go close, and he sees you, and he gets this look.
Can I read him?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, like because it sounds like you're coming in like ready for.
I'm coming in hot. It's like, yo, you're behind, man. Like I need my stuff. Kind of.
Fix your shit, Rolf.
Yeah,
Ball.
like
I like how you're all acting like he's somehow like forgetting to supply you. Like,
but that's how Dice is,
Sure.
right? Like it's very much like she's the person in charge, or she thinks she is at most points in time. So let's try and read him.
Okay.
What does he feel? Because you say he gives me this look, like how he
he thinks you're here to. He's gonna be able to get like money out of you. He has leverage over you, and he's gonna squeeze you for it, right? You're here to.
Yeah,
it's
that's
like
what I figured.
he just had a meeting with the mayor, right? He's at the top of the pile. The meeting, whatever it was, went great, and now he's like, awesome. So here's the fucking frosting on my cupcake. Time to
Okay.
give me some money.
All right, so coming up to him, I'm like,
Dave,
Oh.
sorry.
go
I
Dave.
was just gonna say I want to read the situation.
Yes, totally. Yeah, because you're outside of it, right? It is a charged situation.
Yeah, I figured it would be.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'll keep it in mind. I'll ask it when it's.
I think actually with the situation you have to ask now, and with the person you can ask whenever.
That is correct.
Yes. So what would you like to know about the situation as it currently stands?
Oh, what should I be on the lookout for?
Dice may have given you the impression that she was like bringing you into a situation in which she had all the power, but you are witnessing a situation where that is not the case. You're in the lion's den here. This guy is like.
So what you should be on the lookout for is Dice
Yeah.
could ruin your chances of escaping.
Yeah, Dice could make this go very wrong by being Dice. So be wary of that.
Okay.
Yeah. So Rolf Ball,
Yeah, what does he look like?
I'm thinking tracksuit.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I'm thinking like black and white like tracksuit. Probably because like he does like he is around the like dangerous shit downstairs, so he's probably
Yeah.
wearing like work boots, like steel toe like work boots. And I think he's younger than the mayor, but not by much. And he probably has like kind of his hair's kind of stringy and he wears it long, but like puts it in a ponytail. I'm imagining Trevor from GTA 5 minus all the tattoos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got you. So as I'm approaching the doors, as he's like about to close them, and then he sees me sort of like walking over.
Yeah, and he grins and he's like, Dice, what a nice surprise.
Rolf Ball, always a pleasure. Where's my stuff? Like in the hallway.
Yeah. So you're like walking
while
into.
I'm getting there.
Okay. Yeah, and you walk past him, and he's like, straight to business, huh? And he goes to turn to close the door before Ferris, you're even in the room. Like, he doesn't even see or acknowledge you. What do? Like, he's turning around to just be like, okay, cool.
I go, Mr. Ferris. I just wave, and if he doesn't turn around, I get the door shut on me.
Okay, so you don't. Yeah, so he turns and he like looks at you, and he turns around to Dice to look as if like, is he with you?
Yay.
Okay, he stops and he gestures for you to come in, Ferris.
Okay, yeah, I like put out my hand. I know we do handshaking. That's a thing.
Yeah, he doesn't.
I
shake your hand.
love how you've just like sort of been implicated into this drug deal. Like
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I don't. I put it down and I put out the hand.
Dave, this is the kind of conversation I imagine would happen if you ever hung out with Sterling in real life. You just end up in a situation where you're like, oh God, what am I doing? What's happening here?
Yep.
So he closes the door and he walks over to a sidebar. Now his office is like, one of the walls is like grimy, like windows, but from here you can see Hit Me Up in the kind of near distance. You can see the mayor's little like estate up on the hill to one side, and in the distance, like through the mist, you can just make out the outlines of the mountain that the temple is on. And he walks over to a sidebar and like pours himself a drink, and he looks back at the two of you and he's like, "I'm in the mood to celebrate," and gestures to the glasses like,
yeah, I can go for a celebration. Celebrate where my stuff is when I find it.
Where's my shit? You're like every person who's ever called FedEx ever. Like, how are you doing today?
Well-
Shut up, where's my package?
Hey, yeah.
Well, you see, man, where's my fucking package? So he gives you both drinks, and
Yeah, great.
he says to you, Dice, he's like,
What's the chair situation in this room?
he's got a huge desk. You're in the front room, and there's another door that like probably leads back to where he actually lives and stuff. He's got
Yeah.
this big desk. He's got a kind of like a chair that would look more suitable in like a library or like a study. Like it's a big like stuffed chair, and it's kind of going like a little bad. And then there's 3 more chairs in front of his desk that are just like a mismatch of.
Okay,
stuff.
so there's all right. I'm standing. I drink whatever is offered to me, as he's also got a glass of the same thing. So, and sort of wait for him to address my question.
Yeah, so he's like, I mean, I've got lots of stuff if you want it.
Is our current deal not being honored then? You not feeling the trade we've already got going?
He says, well, for trade to occur, you need to give me something in exchange for my product. You do understand how that works, right?
Where do you think it's been coming from for the last I don't know how long this is since the
I mean, I figure it's been a
place
while.
established. Like, where do you think it's been coming for the last year?
Right.
I mean, I think you think back and you don't know.
Yeah, I'm like, how fucking long was it? Yeah, like a year ago.
Yeah.
Set this place up.
I mean, the thing is, like, he doesn't supply you for free, right? Like, mechanically, your place doesn't just auto-generate supply.
Yeah, but also mechanically, it doesn't give me shit.
Yeah. I mean, there is a move for it, right? Like, if you want to generate, like, because right now the bar operates at a zero-sum game. It keeps you alive, and occasionally you'll have to do stuff to like get barter to like keep it running occasionally. But like you can do that by working, right? You can just generate barter with what is it called? Working a gig. They like split out the operator stuff now.
Oh, okay.
So if you need extra barter, you can be like, I'm gonna like work a gig, so I'm gonna like extra run the place, but it keeps itself going unless something bad happens. So in this case, yeah, like you're running low on supply. I need to negotiate with him. Plus, also like you still kind of owe him. You're running at a negative with this guy, so he might be like slacking on it intentionally to put a little pressure on you to get you to come here and ask. Yeah. So he says, yeah, he's like, so, if you're here to make a deal, let's make a deal. But the way I see it, you still owe me for the last few.
You didn't get the payment? Ah. I sent it with Wall, but he's missing. You seen him?
Shakes his head. He's like, I don't know your employees, Dice.
Well, that's a shame. Looks like we might both have a problem then.
He's like, I don't see how this is my problem.
Well, see, as much as I want your stuff, and I do, trust me, it's helpful. If I can't pay you, you ain't gonna give it to me. So that's business lost on both sides. If I had the money I sent with Wall, I say, lying through my teeth.
Yeah, of course. Checks in the mail, Ralph Ball.
Yeah, the money I sent with Wall, you'd be getting the brass, and I'd be getting the stuff. So somebody's screwing with us.
He's like, oh, this is an us problem now, is it?
Well, I mean, that depends, I suppose, on exactly how much you consider my continued custom over the course of a year to be an us problem. That's a lot of money, right? And that's a lot of stuff. And I like to think we have sort of a business relationship here.
Yeah, I think he says to you, it's like I've got a lot of business relationships, Dice, and just because you lost a courier doesn't mean I'm gonna get involved. I've got important shit to do. And he kind of gestures to the door like, you just saw the mayor walk out of here. I'm so cool. And he's like, so if you want to come back with some brass from me, we could work this out. But coming in here empty-handed like this, I can't help but feel like you're asking for something, not trying to be a partner.
Hold on. Oh, wait, Dice.
What, Ferris?
I got something to trade.
Oh my god, no. No. Funny. Okay, go.
Yeah.
So my associate here, Ferris, lovely fellow, says he's got something to trade for the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. All right. So he looks at you.
I have no idea what you've got.
I know
do
exactly
out of
where this is
character,
going.
yeah.
I know.
So Rolf Ball looks at you, Ferris, and he's like, and he takes a couple of steps over towards you, and his boots, clunk on the hardwood floor as he gets like right up close to you. He's like, "Is that so? What do you got?"
Yeah, that's a really good. Why don't I show you? Because I don't know what they're called.
He casts a look over at Dice like, "You better not be fucking with me. You fucking with me?" And then he looks back at you.
I give him the look like back that's like, I don't fucking know. Like.
So he turns back to you, Ferris, and he's like gestures like, "Please."
Okay, yeah, like I take the container out of my coat, and it's like a metal box. I put it, and like slide it on the desk. I'm like,
So you put it on the desk next to him because the two of you are standing. He's standing next to you. You know.
oh yeah,
you,
then I put it.
You just like, well, you just hold it out to him. Yeah.
Oh yeah, just like, here you go.
Okay. So he takes the box, and he kind of like, you can see somewhere between like intrigued and like confused, and he like opens it, and he looks at it, and he looks at you, and he looks at Dice, and we all see the eggs in the box. And he fucking throws them on the ground, like just like throws them on the ground next to him, and they smash on the floor. There's like yolk everywhere. The box like tumbles off to one side, and he looks at you, Dice. He's not even like, he's still just like ignoring he's ignoring Ferris, and he looks at you, Dice, like, what the fuck? And he says that. He's like, what the fuck is this, Dice? What the fuck? What are you trying to fuck with me? What's going on? Why don't you and your retard friend here get the fuck out of my office? You come back with money or goods.
You can see like visibly Dice when he throws the box down and like smashes the eggs.
Yeah.
Dice's fingers like twitch, like curl towards like the nearest weapon, wherever it may be. She's got a knife on her somewhere, like kind of feeling, but then it sort of relaxes when I see she's like egg yolk fucking spewed all over the floor. And I got Rolf ball up in my face. I turn to Ferris, like I look over at Ferris and I'm like, we should probably go. Sounding like a good idea. You know what? Rolf ball, I'll be back. We'll talk again.
He took them. Those were mine. Maybe you came into this situation without anything to bug him with, but now he owes me.
So
That's how it
his
works.
shouting has drawn the attention of a couple of his guards who like open the door and are standing there like, something wrong, boss? You want us to murder these people and throw them off the roof? Like they're ready to go. And he's like looking at the door, and there is this moment where he's like, okay, you're gonna need to leave or I'm gonna tell my guards to eject you.
Ferris, I think probably the best thing to do in this situation is to come back later. He'll have something to barter. I'll give you something in return for your attempted trade. He is just a little cranky today. Probably woke up on the wrong side of the bed. It's all right. It's cool. Don't like the eggs? That's fine. We're gonna go. Let's go. And I sort of try and shepherd Ferris like out past the burly guys with machine guns or whatever.
Yeah, I think Ferris is just upset.
Yeah.
He's just like shoulders slumped a little bit, but like I'm not gonna go violent about it. So if you try and take me out, I'll just like start muttering under my breath. I'll be like, "Oh, I got those for doing the work, and I need to pay for the work." And
Where did you get eggs? What you doing at Lamprey's house? I say like the only person I know who has chickens.
I'll tell you when we go.
We like make our way back to the elevator,
Okay.
and leave.
Yeah, I think as you're getting in the elevator, the last thing we hear is like, Rolf Ball shouting at someone like, somebody fucking clean this up. Cool. All right. Brace, it's like late afternoon. It's kind of rainy, and you're just like walking up the road.
Yeah.
I assume you're not cold, but you're like
No.
getting rained on. Your hair's all like wet, like hanging down. You hear a vehicle coming down from the like towards you from the temple. It's coming around there's like a bend ahead of you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you hear something. You hear the sound of an engine, like tires on gravel.
How common are like vehicles? Like, would this be like, of course there's a vehicle, or would this be like, this is slightly out of the ordinary?
I mean, I think between the temple and the town, there's probably like a dozen vehicles total. Yeah.
Would I have any idea of the type of person that would have a vehicle? Or is this just like...
It's usually owned either by someone who needs it for work. If it's a temple vehicle, it's probably part of their like commerce situation, right? Because they like sell food. Correct me if I'm wrong here, Tiny, but they sell food in the town, right? They're part of commerce. Engaged in commerce was the. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw you nod. Okay, so it could be like a temple truck. It could
We
be
have,
like
one.
yeah,
but-
Rolf Ball. Yeah, the temple truck. It could be Rolf Ball. Either of Rolf Ball or Bill's. They have several vehicles, but Bill never. They don't really leave town to go in this direction. Or it could be one of a handful of the like people that use it. Like somebody, I think there's somebody. Let's actually.
Ferris has a truck, as established previously.
Yeah, that's right. Let's figure out someone runs a service. Like they have a little like VW bus or something that they go back and forth between the temple to like move people. Let's call this person. I'm gonna pick a driver name for them because of course I am. Her name is Marlene.
Okay. Grace probably would be like assuming that it's just something, whatever. And if it's coming back from the temple,
Yep.
then it's unlikely that it's going to be helpful for her. So she's like not going to be standing in the middle of the road, but she's not going to like attempt to hide either.
Okay.
So she knows that a car could just not see her. So she's not like stupid. She's not going to stand out in the middle of the road. She gets to the side of the road and just like continues, walking, like not paying attention to the rain or anything like a normal person would be. Yeah.
So Marlene, Marlene, like you can see her van come around the corner, and she slows up on her way to when she gets closer to you, and she sees you by the side of the road, and slows down, stops, like kind of leans out the window. Marlene's an older gal. She's been in Templetown a long time, and this is what she does. This is her job. She's got she's friendly with both the temple and the town, and has just kind of been like around since as long as pretty much anybody can remember. So she slows the van down and stops, and then leans out and says to you, she's like, "You gotta catch a cold standing out there." Have you talked to her before? Have you had any interaction with Marlene? Has she ever driven you to the temple or back?
I feel like if Brace were at the temple or in town and someone she was just like wandering around with went on the truck, like she would like the van, she would have gone too, but I don't think she would have like had words with Marlene at all.
So she recognizes you, but you've never talked.
Yeah.
And obviously you recognize her.
Mhm.
Okay. So she's like, she says that. She's like, "You're gonna catch a cold standing out there."
I doubt it. Are you headed to town?
She
Is there anyone in the van?
I mean it has like windows they maybe were tinted at one point, but the tinting is all long faded. No, it's empty. She shrugs. She's like, just hitting the road. You see anybody waiting at the stop? There's a little like place just outside town, and there was nobody waiting to get a ride up.
And Brace would just shake her head. Whether there was someone waiting or not, she would say no.
You're like, no. Okay. So she she says, so you need a ride?
And she shuffles on her feet in the like I could or not. It's like she's just like, if you're going to give me one.
Yeah, I mean this is her job. She's not gonna just do it out of charity. Gas costs barter.
Of course, gas costs barter. Everything costs barter.
Yeah, scarcity is a thing. But you could try to convince her to give you a ride for free by any of the multiple means that you have.
I could try and convince her. I would say that Brace thinks about how long the journey is from here to the temple, and maybe she is getting a little hungry. I mean, not that she pays too much attention to that, but Marlene, she's probably like people probably like she's nice, right? She's not like no one's like Marlene's rude old lady drives cars like
I mean she doesn't take shit, right? Like she wouldn't still be around if she did, but she generally she's known to be kind of well regarded.
Okay. I think Brace is like she looks down a little bit like at her feet, and like maybe whatever shoes she has are like really worn, like if she's wearing any at all. And like
I was gonna say, are you even wearing shoes? Do we just see your like dirty
I doubt
feet
it.
in
I
mud?
really doubt it. and like, so okay, so she's not wearing any shoes, and like her like feet and ankles are just like caked in mud, and like she like looks down at herself and then like kind of puts on a face. Like you could like if she was looking straight at Marlene, like she would probably be able to like see it, but like she looks down and then she puts on this face of like really like
Being a human all of a sudden.
yeah, being a human, I guess.
Cool.
And she's just like, a ride could be nice. And then puts out her gloved hand to like shake Marlene's hand, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
And she's gonna try and puppet strings her
Okay.
to give her a ride for free. Because she doesn't want to have to pay. Because she's a little shit.
Okay. Yeah. I think she's like a little suspicious of you because you're weird. You're a weirdo.
Yeah, I'm weird.
Yeah. But I think she's, I don't know. She's like, she picks up strangers for a living,
Yeah.
and she's probably had like difficulty before. I think to be able to like get in her, you're gonna have to do. She doesn't shake your hand. I think you'll have to like
Okay.
find some way to like get in contact with her. She's a little, she's a little suspicious of you because you're literally a horrible monster, but she doesn't really know that part.
I'm not that she knows that.
She doesn't know that
Come
part.
on.
Yeah. So so she like kind of looks at your hand and she just gestures over her shoulder. She's like I think she gets out to come and open the door for you.
Okay. Sure. So she's just gonna let me in without paying first?
She opens the door and then I think is gonna probably be like, yeah, hop in, but first.
Okay. I'm just trying to think like because like what Brace wants to do is to try and like, you know, touch her,
Yeah,
obviously.
you could just grab her. That would be a thing you could do.
But like you said, like she's like wary of that kind of shit.
There would definitely be like a roll if you tried to just like get your hands on her.
I'm just yeah. I guess there's a role. Like Brace wants to try and do it in a way that is subtle. So like whatever, like I guess let me see. I
'Cause
can
normally you need time and physical intimacy, but because of your weird glove, you can just like do it with a touch. So if you want to just try to like brush.
yeah, I can like I guess like cuz maybe yeah, Brace is going to try and like maybe it's weird and she's weird and whatever, but Brace is going to try and like not aggressively not just like grab her and shake her, but just like try and just like touch her.
Okay. Yeah.
Even though she didn't like take her hand, as it were. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think you're acting under fire.
Okay.
Because the fire here is her suspicion of you.
Okay. I don't think that this is a weird one. Yeah.
No, this should just be cool.
I know, but I have like moves that change
Yeah.
stuff. So okay. Fingers crossed. Okay.
All right. So like
horrible.
a hard bargain. I think you'll be able to touch her, but it's not like it's not just a casual like brushing her. You actually have to like grab her wrist or something. It won't be like a physical, like you see an opening that you can take, but you have to like take a full step and reach for her. It's not just like caressing.
Okay. It's not as subtle as I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
Okay, but I can still attempt to.
Yeah, so I think she reaches out and she pulls the handle, slides the door out to you, and then she's got her wrist exposed, like her coat like slides up and you can see her wrist, and you can just grab her wrist and do the thing.
Okay. Well, that's what Brace does then, because
Okay.
she likes to be a little shit disturber.
All right.
So, I hold one
Mhm.
against what's her butt?
Marlene.
Marlene.
Mhm.
And the command that I plant inside of her mind is that she basically, I want Marlene to not think of me as a passenger, but as a guest. Like I'm not a fare. She's glad to transport me when
Right,
I
she's
wish.
doing you a favor.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, I think she'll fulfill your command. She's not gonna try to resist. You're not
Okay.
gonna like inflict harm on her or anything. Yeah, so you jump in, and the vehicle like rumbles its way up towards the temple. At which, Tynant, what are you doing? Where do we see you after your conversation with Lissa?
Well, I've tracked down Deerfield.
Okay, all right.
Deerfield and I are gonna have a little talk.
Where would Deerfield be? What kinds of buildings are there in the temple? Let's talk a little bit about the.
So there's like the temple itself. There are a couple kind of medium-sized outbuildings, like where people kind of sleep and live in common with other people.
Mhm.
And there are some like sheds and other kind of little building. Like there's a building with the generator in it, and there's a spot where the firewood goes and stuff like that. And it's all kind of in like, in this little area above one of the fields, and then down closer to the road, there's like a little row of buildings.
Yeah, yeah.
So we have our little like compound, and like some of these look kind of like trailer homes or things like that. Like they're not necessarily very like well established buildings. The only one that's actually like solid is the temple itself.
Yeah.
Everything else has been built like after the fall.
Okay. So I mean, Deerfield, yeah, like Deerfield has a trailer. And so that's where you find him. Yeah. Yeah, Deerfield's trailer, you come over to it, and it's I think it's like an old like Airstream like trailer. That's kind of started to go rusty and has no wheels. It's been like permanently like refitted to be on the ground. It's a building now. There's smoke coming out of a little chimney on the top of it. And yeah, and I think that's where you assume you can find him.
Yeah, and so I come over to his trailer and I have like a little bit of firewood to like top up his stove or whatever with.
Okay.
And I knock on the door.
Okay. You
And,
hear
like, my knock is always way heavier than anyone else's, even when I'm trying to be dainty, because I just have this like huge hand. So
yeah, you hear shuffling inside. Maybe the trailer like tilts a little as somebody gets up off of some furniture, and you hear thumping of footsteps, and then the creak of the handle as the trailer door opens. And yeah, Deerfield, you see inside. He's wearing like denim overalls and like a red and blue like flannel shirt. One sleeve of the shirt is like rolled up because he's got his arm like in a sling around his neck. He's got like a sort of like tightly cropped like beard and long hair that's like in a big like ponytail kind of down his back. Deerfield's like a big guy, strong guy, usually like prone to like labor, and yeah. So you see him. He opens the door. It was I said his arm. He broke his arm, right? Yeah.
I think it was his arm.
It's his arm. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it's his arm.
It's his arm. Yeah.
Whatever was broken is broken.
Yeah. It was his arm. I made a note. Okay. So yeah, he opens the door and he sees you and kind of he nods like this kind of knowing like and doesn't say anything. Turns around and leaves the door open and like walks back inside.
And yeah, like when we make eye contact at the door, I kind of like hold up the firewood with a little shrug.
Yeah, he's already turned to like go back into the trailer.
Yeah, and I follow him in, and the whole thing like.
Yeah, totally. So inside there's, he's got his bed at the back end. There's a little like tray table thing that sticks out with two little bench seats. There's a little kitchenette that it doesn't really get used. I don't think it works. And then yeah, he's rigged up some kind of like there's a heater like stove thing underneath, and there's a little slot where he puts firewood, and Yeah, he just walks in and he goes back and he sits down on his bed.
Yeah, and so I kind of like lean down or like take a knee and like put some of these little pieces of firewood in his
Yeah,
little
it's like
stove.
it's pretty warm in here. It's pretty
Yeah, it's like
cozy.
an efficient little.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just like top it up. I don't like turn it into this big roaring fire or anything. I don't want to burn his trailer down.
Yet.
And then I like take a seat near him and like leave some silence for him to talk if he wants to.
Okay. Yeah. I think he stays quiet. He knows that there's a conversation that is going to happen that he's been expecting, but he's not going to be the one to start it.
Cool. So I'm kind of like feeling that out, and then when it's clear that he's not going to talk, I'll just say, I'm interested in hearing about this vision that you had.
Yeah, he nods. And he says, I'd hoped to wait till you got back, but only so much time. Had to get started.
If work is to be done, then there's no better time than now.
Yeah. He nods again.
And again, there's this like long silence, and I'm like, so would you please tell me about your vision?
He shakes his head and he says, I can't.
Kind of narrow my eyes a little bit. Why not?
Ain't supposed to. Part of the deal.
The deal.
He nods.
Our covenant is with the spirits of the dead. It is about respecting them and honoring them.
He nods again.
So long as it is with them, I trust that they are not leading you astray. They have always been good to us in exchange for us being good to them.
He says, yep.
He's a man of few words. Any questions?
Yeah. Like you get the impression that he's very certain. He knows what needs to be done, and like he was not dreading, but like anticipating this conversation, but doesn't seem to have like gotten words for it. Like he just knew this was going to happen.
Yeah.
Feel my pain, Andrew.
I've been paying a lot of attention to him, so I feel like I'm gonna bomb this read roll, but I made it.
Oh boy. Oh.
So I'm like trying to like be like, what is your fucking deal? Basically.
So I'm gonna ask you questions,
Great.
Tynant. So what are you really feeling right now? Do you think that he's got some like alternate mandate from Ghost? It's got people lying and arming up and taking tolls on the road, or
Yeah, Tynant is confused as to like why the spirits of the dead would want that when previously there was this very long established and like, spiritually significant code of conduct that all of this stuff kind of breaks out of. So Tynant is like anxious about this and trying to understand. I'm not necessarily just like, what the fuck are you doing?
yeah, I'm picking that up. Okay, I just wanted to
Yeah.
confirm whether you were doing that for his sake or whether that's how Tynant actually feels.
I mean, yeah, like this whole thing is unsettling, but it's just because it's like change and it's different, and I'm trying to like figure out what's going on, and I feel like cut, on the outside of it.
Yeah.
And there's probably, like lots of long silences in this exchange, and I like, keep the fire arranged properly and
Yeah.
wait a lot. But eventually, if he's like, he's just being quiet, I'll just offer like, as far as your arm is concerned, I could help with that at the temple, if you'd like.
He looks at his arm and he looks at you and he says, "Don't know if it's about that anymore. Things change. Things keep changing. Fixing to keep changing too."
Well, if you want to face whatever's coming, able-bodied and ready, I can help with that. That's all.
He shakes his head. And I think that you can tell, or you suspect, anyway, I can't tell you what you can tell or not because you horribly bombed that roll, but you suspect that he's in pain right now, that like his broken arm is still like fucking with him. And supposedly he already like drank the magic water and didn't get better. So
Yeah, well, it's not just about, not just anyone can fucking
yes,
magically heal people in this temple, all right?
that's true.
And so yeah, like
There's
here,
a certain method.
here Tynan is clearly like irritated. And so I'm just like, I mean, this community cannot afford to have people laid up for no reason out of stubbornness. We're all here to work. And I'm not going to tell anyone what work they're doing, but I will tell them to work.
Yeah,
That is part of my covenant.
when you say that, he shakes his head and he says, can't be that way anymore. People just doing whatever jobs they think need doing.
It has not been our way to have one person decide for others. It has been a collective effort.
And
People are given responsibilities.
yeah, he looks
People are
he
not
looks at
given
you.
authority.
Yeah, he hasn't been making eye contact because you're sitting beside him, right? Like on his bed. And he's just been staring straight ahead. And this time, like he turns and makes eye contact with you, and he says, "That's what I tell you, Tynan. Things fixing to change. Folk need guidance, direction."
Yes, and here we will come to an impasse. Because guidance and direction are one thing, but a push down the hill is another. And I will not stand by and watch you poison this community with this kind of talk, with this kind of mentality. I was just in town where that kind of thing has taken root. And if that is the way that you want to live, I suggest you go there. I suggest you do it quickly.
He shakes his head as if expecting you to like have been this way, and that's the thing. Like there's a sense of tension being broken here where he's like, okay, here's the
now
thing.
we're having the argument.
Here's the thing I was getting ready for. And he says, "This is just how I seen it. You sitting here, the fire, this talk, it ain't gonna go well."
Yes, because you are in breach of the agreements that we have made to honor the laws. And those who cannot uphold their agreements here suffer a dire penalty. Such is the will of the dead.
He nods and says, "It's like the dead, they're more like the living than you think. Change their minds."
The dead do not change. The world changes.
He looks at the door and he says, "Maybe best you go. Have a talk with him yourself."
Yeah, except he's breaking double.
I know,
double
right?
double law breaking, so he's going to get
Yep.
actually triple law breaking.
Wait.
He is neither keeping his agreements, nor is he offering sacrifices of labor, nor is he honoring the ghosts of the dead, as far as I'm concerned.
As far as you're concerned, yes.
Yeah,
You've
motherfucker.
definitely got him on 2 of the 3, and one of them he thinks he's
Yeah.
doing.
He thinks he's right with them, but
He does.
I got my doubts. So on a 7 and 9, they must face the full penalty.
Mm-hmm.
So I drag him out. By the way, not keeping your agreements gets you executed.
Mm-hmm.
Town. And certainly I'm not about to get executed for not keeping my agreement to uphold that law. So yeah, I just like, there's just like this awkward silence for a moment. And then there's the like skirt and like creak of everything as Tynant stands up. And I just like grab him bodily out of his bed and haul him outside.
Okay. He neither resists nor acts like a man who knows he's being dragged to his execution.
Yeah, I mean, he's whatever. But yeah, and so I'm going to like drag him up the path, like very visibly, and just like to the well. Like
Yeah, I don't think you have to
march him.
drag him. Like I think
Yeah.
he like walks with you.
Great. I'm like walking pretty briskly and kind of like pulling him along. And,
So there are people when you come out the front door, like Porter and a couple other people, waiting for you to come out. Not in a like let's get him kind of way, but in a like they were told to be here.
Yeah.
So you come out and they follow you. And then when you where's the place that these sorts of things happen? Where does punishment occur?
I mean, this dude's about to get drowned to death in the sacred water.
So there are people around already, like waiting. Standing around the well.
And so to the like gathered crowd, Tynant will just say, everyone, it is a sad day when I must perform my duties, these particular ones for which I alone am responsible. It would be best if I could merely serve the water as you all do, day to day, in small ways. But every now and then it comes to pass that we must commend one into the dead, to walk among them and see the error of their ways, to understand our covenant with them. Today, it's Deerfield, and I hope that he will see the right path when he reaches them. And then it's just like me holding onto his hair or whatever and just like forcing his head into a small container of the water, like holding him under as he like, kicks and struggles.
Yeah, so he doesn't like when his conscious brain is in control, he doesn't fight.
But eventually
eventually his body like panics and he tries to like get away, but that he doesn't. His heart isn't in it. And eventually he goes still. Brace, are you here for this? Did you witness all that?
I would have loved to have witnessed.
I'm sure she is.
I'm sure you are. Yeah.
I would have loved to have just arrived and seen Tynant dragging this man up into the temple and been like, oh, lovely.
Oh man.
And this all like takes a while, so there's lots of time for you to like catch up and check it all out.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Brace did witness this.
And so and I'm like sweating a little from the effort, and like I like look up to the gathered people, and I'm sure I just like immediately spot Brace and like lock eyes with her, with my hand still on this dude's head. And I just like look up, and then I stand, and I've got like, like my shirt's wet, my pants are wet, and I don't look quite as clean as I usually do because my lifestyle was shit this week. And yeah, there's just like, this is probably the most like frazzled you've ever seen Tynant be. And then I like go to my little box with the fingers in it, and I pull out the knife that's always in there, and I go over to Deerfield and I just like remove his like ring finger of his right hand or something,
Mhm.
and then put it in the box. And it goes next to the finger of what's his face from the like one shot,
Yeah, yeah.
who's maybe still in the crowd, like flexing his remaining digits.
Totally. I mean, there's a non-zero number of people here who are missing fingers.
Yeah, totally. And then yeah, I like there's like a little towel that I keep in my pocket and I pull it out and I just like wipe my hands with the towel and look at everyone and then walk to my room.
What do you do with like people's bodies when you kill them in this way? Are they like is it someone's job to like dispose of them? Do you just like leave them there as like an example, or
I feel like Nipperkin sweeps in and deals with it.
the doctor?
Yeah, and like other people like help him
Mm-hmm.
bury this. Yeah, he gets buried. He gets buried on the grounds. The graveyard is like behind the temple.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's the thing that happens.
So I got a thing.
And so it was.
I mean, unless Brace is doing more stuff in the temple right now.
I mean, I feel like I'm just looking creepy and
Brace is just like observing.
Business as usual then for Brace.
Yeah. My thing is, when me and Ferris get kicked out of we leave Rolf Ball's establishment, I head back to Hit Me Up, obviously.
Okay.
I don't know if Ferris is following me still.
Yeah, we need to look for Raw.
Yeah, we do. So I'm gonna walk in to Hit Me Up and like push the door open and basically just declare like, where the fuck is Wall? You know, like as loud as possible. And at that point in time, I would like to use the move where I can have something show up at my place, but as if by magic.
I like it. No, it's perfect. Let's absolutely do that.
It is called what is it? Fingers in every pie.
Okay.
Get your fingers out of my pie, homie.
So I basically shout
I
to
feel
the
like if
crowd.
anybody's going to be getting fingers in pie by accident, it's you, Tynan. You keep your fingers away from all pies, please.
I don't know. I could go for some. Anyway.
Delicious
never mind.
finger pie. All right, Maestro, do your thing.
Boosh, 8.
Okay.
On an 8, I get on a 7 to 9. Well, your people make an effort, and everybody wants to please you, and close is close, right?
Okay. So you're not going to get Wall, but you're going to find out where Wall's at.
Yeah. So like somebody in their nose or something.
Okay. Let's see.
Does rolling a move that has hot count as rolling hot for the?
Yes.
If you use the hot modifier.
That counts as the experience.
Hot modifiers.
I am hot mod.
Okay, so I think Fam knows where.
Fam knows.
Yeah, Fam knows where Lamprey or where
Where's
Wall
Wall?
is at.
Where's Wall at, Fam?
So so Fam she like looks up from what she's doing, and I think maybe she's just like, I don't know, cleaning bottles or something, and she's like nervous. She knows she's not just gonna give him straight up. She looks up and she's like, yeah, I don't know. Like goes back to
I like do the imperious chopper gang leader walk over to Fam. and
yeah,
just,
the like motorcycle boot clink, like
like
the cowboy walk. Okay.
walk over, and I like slam my hand down on the table next to her, and I'm like, where the fuck is Wall? He's supposed to be here, and he ain't here.
Okay. I mean, you're going aggro on Fam.
Yeah,
So
I am.
please go ahead and roll.
So I'm gonna roll hard on Fam.
Yeah, go hard on Fam.
I'm gonna go hard on Fam.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh no, Fam.
This is me like after a bad situation with Rolf Ball, just being aggro, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, totally. You're just, the cycle of abuse is continuing.
Yeah, the cycle of abuse, yeah.
So on a miss, be prepared for the worst.
All right.
Okay. I think in this case, yeah, Fam is like pretty like a pretty positive person, like a person that kind of like, she has it kind of together. She doesn't like really like, she doesn't fuck anybody over. She has lots of friends. You know, she's not perfect, but like nobody is. But like a
Sure.
lot of people like Fam, and Fam will tell you where Wall is, but you have to hurt her, and you have to hurt her in front of everybody, and they will all think less of you for it. But you'll get what you want. Like everyone who sees this happen, if it happens.
I mean, this has already happened, right? Like I've already done this because the roles. I can't be like, no, I don't want to do it.
Is that what happens? Like you don't even realize you're doing it without even realizing. Like maybe it occurs to you, but you've already like smashed your face against the bar.
I think that's the thing,
Oh,
right?
that's so
Like
good.
it's one of those things where like I slam my hand down on the table and she's about to go, Wall is it? And I'm just wham, you know, like
Bang. All right.
You walk
Fucking
over there
tell
chopper
me.
style, and
Yeah.
you go through chopper style.
exactly.
Yeah. So
like,
everybody that's
it's just like you can see the like dice from a year ago like come out, you know, in it.
yeah.
Anybody who's like a member of my gang or has been around like since then, like it would be like flashback territory, you know.
And this is bad. This is like broken cheekbone, missing teeth bad. Like you hit her head hard. She gets knocked out immediately. Like falls behind the bar. Litz runs over to her like to like grab her and like make sure she's okay. There's a big smear of her like blood on the thing, and before she passes out, she's mumbling that she's sorry. Like she like, you know, you didn't have to hurt her so bad, and she's like apologizing, and she keeps saying a name. She keeps saying Sunset, which is a name that's familiar. Sunset's one of the townies, but you don't know like Sunset never comes in. But
Sunset.
yeah, some woman that
with
was,
Sunset, fucking bastard should be working right now. You know, like I'm like pissed, but I'm not really pissed at the situation. It's not something I would usually be pissed about. It's just that I have to deal with this Rolf ball shit, and like this is an extra thing on top of that I'm
This
just
is
like
your displaced
that
Rolf
I'm just
Ball.
like pissed. I'm just like pissed at. I'm gonna fucking I walk out, like storm out towards wherever Sunset's place is. Like I assume I would know the layout of the general area. And as I'm leaving, I'm gonna yell back inside. I'm gonna be like, "You best have your brass ready when I get back. Like, we got supplies, you know." Like
everyone in the bar has like stopped doing bar stuff and is all like crowded around Fam, like worried about her.
yeah.
Ferris, were you there when this happened, or?
Oh yeah, I was following the whole time. Yeah, I'm not used to seeing violence. I've been in here before, and like I'm aware that happens, but that felt more personal. So I'm a bit shocked, but at the same time, I don't fix people, so I can't help. So I'm kind of caught for a minute between going over to help this person who I've just seen like be really badly injured, but I also like have jobs to do and stuff, and I don't know how to go over and help, so I actually leave as well.
Okay, all right. So you're gonna follow.
Yeah, no, I tell you what, I will.
Or are you gonna
do,
go somewhere else? Okay.
I'm gonna I'm gonna reach into my coat, and I've got, what is it exactly? I don't think I've defined yet what particular thing I have that gives me augury is.
Oh, it's got to be in your workshop. You can't just carry it around.
Oh, can you not? Okay.
No, you have to be in your workshop to access it. Yeah.
Yep.
It's like some arrangement of things.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Oh yeah, I see that now. Okay, yeah, I'll just I think subconsciously I probably, since I don't know how to react before I decide, I think I just accidentally absorb some of the emotional tension in the area, and it activates brain opening just to see what's going on.
Okay.
I think the situation has more to inform me than what the actual people are doing.
All right. Sure.
Okay, partial success. That's
All right, you can see crowded around Fam, like Ba, Litz, and Toyota are all there. Litz is crying. Ba is like kind of panicking and doesn't know like what to do. Toyota looks like she's decided to leave and go find like a doctor or something, like go find someone to like take care of Fam. Fam's like pretty fucked up. And you see all of that, but there's also standing around Fam, like behind these people, a kind of like gray purple like people shaped like collection of like hazes. So like there's other figures watching Fam, kind of like looking over. And it looks like one of them is like taking notes or something. Like you see like one of them holding like a clipboard or a tablet or something and like writing on them. But again, it's all kind of indistinct and hazy. And it reminds you of the edges, the blurred kind of like Vaseline lens edges of your dream this morning.
okay. Yeah, like, I mean, I don't think there is an appropriate
Nothing to do.
reaction.
Yeah, we can.
but
I mean, we can cut from there.
yeah,
Um.
we'll go to follow, but
Okay. Yeah. Let's cut to Dice and see what.
So Sunset's place. I'm headed there. If
Okay.
there were a camera shot that I like, and I don't know why this is, but I want to focus on the fact that like these boots that she's wearing, you know, like this sort of like stride that is like, okay, I'm getting shit done now. I'm in command, you know, like I'm in charge, and I'm gonna go and find my most loyal goon.
I
you
mean,
know?
yeah. Like, you're going to find a loyal goon to bring with you because your most loyal goon is Wall.
That's what I'm. No, but that's what I'm saying.
you're
like,
going to
I'm
retrieve your
find-
most
I'm
loyal
gonna
goon.
Go and retrieve my most loyal goon. Exactly.
Okay.
So there, if there was a camera shot, it'd be like really low, like on her, like below her knees, sort of the feet.
Yeah.
along
And every
the-
step, like mud, just like splattering because
Yeah.
it's like all damp and like muddy and shit.
So how far is Sunset's place? And when I get there, what do I find?
So Sunset's place is just like in the town. It's a couple of like shacks put together. Sunset does like works with water. She's got a couple of like water collectors and makes like basically like filters like drinkable water. So I guess she's down by the stream. And yeah, and you head down that way. You notice as you approach a sourness in the air. Like you can like taste
Can
it.
I read the situation?
Yeah, I mean you get to the top of the hill and it leads down to where the creek is, and the creek runs by and kind of through the little like prefab sort of buildings that she's used to set up her place. There's that weird smell in the air, and you can ask me.
Okay,
ask me
so
a question.
sour smell.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read the situation, and I want to know, what should I be on the lookout for? Like this smell, you've said it's a smell. Like, do I recognize this smell as like a corpse that's been here for 3 days?
No,
or,
no,
like,
it's
anything like that?
I don't think you've ever smelled it before.
Never smelled it before.
Should be on the lookout for Sunset's improved security. You catch, I think, the reflection of like binoculars or like a sniper scope or something, like because you're out near the edge of the woods. So like in the woods on the other side of the stream, somebody like watching you through like a glass. I mean, it could be like
All right.
a telescope, but it's not.
I try and make sure that there's something interposed between me and that wood line. You know, like a building or a fence.
I mean, it's very definitely their position to be able to watch the approach to Sunset's place.
All right, well, then I'm headed there, but I'm keeping an eye out, you know, like,
Okay.
I've noticed, you know, like, there's nothing else I can do, but I'm headed up towards Sunset's place.
Okay.
And Ferris, you're with me, or?
yeah, I'm a little ways behind since I had this little weird vision, but
Okay, so you're sort of
Yeah,
like
not there yet.
sort of catching up.
Yeah.
yep, not there yet.
All right, so I make it to the front door?
Yeah, I mean, you don't get shot on your way. But I think that when you reach the door, you hear the like squeak or like the click. You know the sound of like a walkie-talkie, like being.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you hear that noise, and the door is already opening as you approach.
All right.
And you see Sunset. She's got like rubber boots on, and then probably just like jeans and a long shirt. She's blonde and she's got her hair like kind of tied up on her head to keep it out of the way. It's like in a big messy like bun. She looks like she's been working. She's got like grease like on her face, and she's just like pulling her like work gloves off as she like nudges the door open with her shoulder. She looks up at you, and are you just like storming towards her?
I mean, I walk with purpose, you know, and as she opens the door, I go like, "Where's Wall? Seen him?"
She's like shaking her head as you approach, and she pulls her gloves off and like, you know, tucks them in her back pocket. And she hasn't let you in. She's standing by the door, and you're definitely still within sight of whoever was watching you from the woods.
You know, that's weird, because Fam told me she was here, and I'm sort of standing, not trying to push past or anything. Like I'm standing still now.
Yeah, I think again,
Very aware of the fact that there's probably a gun.
if this was a show, this would be the part where we see the two of you talking, but we can't hear what you're saying because we're seeing you from a distance. There's like a crosshair
like,
kind of
yeah,
like
like through a surface.
hanging on you. Yeah. And she shakes her head and she's like, no, I ain't seen Wall in some time.
See, that's not what I've heard.
She shrugs.
Well, if he ain't here, then if you see him, let me know.
She kind of raises an eyebrow. She's like, I don't come into town much, but I
want to turn, like, to leave, and then I want to try and get past her, basically.
okay. All right. Sudden moves here. The fire you're acting under is the sniper, but because you know about it, you do get that because you rolled to check the scene. You get a +1, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess, is this like, would this be considered going aggro on her? Like, I'm trying to
No. If you're just trying to get into the room, it's acting under fire, and the fire is do you get shot before you get inside.
All right, so I'm just gonna like make a dive for the door, basically.
Yeah, just like shove her and push inside. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So how do I add a +1 on this roll? I just roll it manually.
You can just roll and we can add the one. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll just add 1 to the roll that we roll. Do something under fire. 7.
Oh, thank goodness. Right? Oh my god. Oh dear.
I feel like somebody's got to be dodging bullets in this right now, so I'm doing it.
So a 7 and 9 on an act under fire.
You flinch, hesitate, or stall.
Yeah, you flinch, hesitate, or stall.
Yeah, here's the thing. Your hard bargain is you can get winged and get inside. You can lunge for the door and not get inside. Like you can lunge for the door and have them fire and not hit you, but you won't get inside, and you'll have sunset to deal with. So inside and slightly bloodied, or still outside and definitely like having played your hand.
Yeah, I almost feel like and I don't know if this plays into either of those, but I almost feel like what it should be like is I move past her, and you hear that like, you know, like of like a bullet nearby, like the off the ground, like in front of me or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got to deal with sunset. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
So you're gonna like lunge for it, but not get shot, and then
and not make it, and then have to like fight. Basically.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So I think you like lunge. There's the shot. When we snap back to you, Sunset's pulled out a wrench and is like swinging it at your head.
All right. From under my leather jacket, I pull like a 12-inch like kitchen knife, basically.
Okay.
From the bar, and as the wrench is coming down, I'm gonna try and like shove it up at her, basically. Quick, hopefully quicker than her, you know.
Yeah, I mean you're fighting. You're doing single combat with someone. So
except there's a sniper as well. Also trying to keep her between the woods and me.
Right. So this single combat, this moment of combat between the two of you is. While what we're seeing while this is happening, if we cut to the other scene, is someone going and getting the weapon back up. So you
Yeah.
have enough time to like scrap with her briefly.
All
So
right,
yeah, she's
so-
swinging the thing at you. You're swinging at her. You're gonna roll plus hard.
So I go aggro.
Yeah, so we're using one of the battle moves. Okay, so you got a 6.
Oh, it's a wait a bat. What?
It's okay. It doesn't matter. It's the same. You're using the same stat.
Okay, same thing. All right.
Yeah, roll plus hard. You rolled a 4, which means you got a 6. So on a miss, your opponent, you both do harm to each other. Your opponent chooses 1 against you. So how much harm are you dealing?
It's 2, I think. I'm just gonna check for the Maestro D blade.
Sure.
Because there's like it's like a wicked blade,
Mhm.
is what it's described as. So I don't know entirely.
It should be 2 harm.
I think it's 2.
Okay.
Assume it's 2. If I find something different, great.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 2. It's 2 harm hand.
Okay. Big heavy wrench. I think it's more than 1. Where's the thing where it tells you like what? Here we go.
2 harm.
All right,
is,
so
like,
it's 1
potentially lethal.
One harm is like tumble down the stairs, a ricochet, guy with a hammer. So I think you're both doing 2 harm here.
Yeah, I think we are.
Do you have armor?
I do
Like
actually one armor.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. She's got her like work gear on. I think that's heavy enough clothes for 1. So you're in an equal position. I think she's gonna suffer little harm. I think she's gonna take 1 less harm. She's fighting
Alright.
she's trying to defend herself from you.
Yeah.
So you take 2 harm
Okay.
and she takes 1. So
How
she takes
how does taking harm work?
so she takes
Adam?
none and you take 1.
Yeah.
So you mark the first harm box. I'm not
Done.
sure how it is on your sheet, and then you got to make the harm move, and then we got to decide about whether we end the fight here or not.
So it's 2d6 plus 2, right? Because it's 2 harm.
But
No, it's the harm that you take.
it's the harm you take, so it's 1.
1.
So it's 1. Okay.
Yeah.
8.
Okay. So harm move on an 8 is, let's see. You lose your footing, lose your grip on whatever you're holding, lose track of something important, or misnose. Okay, yeah. So I think you lose your grip on what you're holding. So here's the thing: you lunge at her, slash her with your knife. She manages to turn, and like her shirt absorbs some of it. So you slash open like around her ribs.
Yeah.
Through her shirt, and then she brings the wrench down on your
my
wrist.
arm,
Yeah, and like just slams you hard on the wrist. Shock of pain shoots up your arm. You drop your knife. It clatters on the ground. And now you need to answer. Do you prefer to end the fight now or fight on? If both of you prefer to end the fight, it ends. If both of you prefer to fight, you fight. If one prefers to end and the other prefers to fight, then the former has to flee, submit to the latter's mercy, or fight on after all. So,
I still want wall, so I'm gonna fight if I can.
okay. Yeah, she would prefer to end the fight, but since you want to fight on and she doesn't want to flee or submit to your mercy, make the move again.
All right. Here we go.
So now, hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're just gonna punch her then, because you
Yeah,
don't have your weapon. So...
I'm basically just gonna like, whack. Like.
Okay. So it's funny because now you deal your harm to her +1, and you suffer 1 less harm.
Yeah.
Fists and boots applied with intent would normally be 1 harm.
Yeah.
You inflict terrible harm, so you deal 2 to her. Let me just do a clock for her, so she's taking 2 harm now. And then you suffer 2 minus 1 minus your armor, so you suffer
I take
0,
nothing, yeah.
but you still have to make the move.
Okay.
just roll plus
so-
0.
I thought she had armor. I thought she only takes 1 harm.
Yeah, it's
Sunset.
no, it's she suffers dice suffers little harm, so that goes from 2 to 1, and then goes from 1 to 0 with
Armor.
but it's still harm. It's still 0 harm.
Right,
think-
but Sunset only takes 1, not 2, because she's armored.
Yes.
Even if
No. Oh no. Yeah. Right. It would be 1 normally. Yeah. So she takes 1. She's got 2 total now.
All right. So 5. So I failed a harm roll.
Okay.
Which is good.
Which is good. You want to fail it.
Which is good for me. Yeah.
Okay. So an NPC at 2 harm, I think she's not
Like
like
we're getting to the point where it's like 50% chance to lethal at 3.
wounds, unconscious. I think you knock her out.
Okay.
But in choosing to continue fighting, you're going to get
I'm gonna get
exposed.
shot,
You get
yeah.
exposed to another shot. So I will give you the opportunity to do something about it. But tell me how do you knock her out? Is it just like you sock her in the face, her head hits the wall, and she goes down,
Yeah,
or
I imagine like as she hits me with the wrench on the wrist with the the knife drops, my other hand comes like backhand across her face while she's got the wrench down, like after having swung it, and like that just puts her out, you know?
yeah, totally.
Like whatever it is, like it's the back of like a biker's, you know, kind of like hand, basically.
Yeah, you're tough. So
So yeah, she just kind of drop, I think, on that. And then I'm moving for the door like immediately.
Okay,
'Cause
so
I still know there's a freaking guy with a gun in the
exactly,
woods.
he hasn't been neutralized yet. So let's have you act under fire. The fire is you're being fired at.
Do I get +1 because I'm acting on information that I have, or
No, it's not ongoing. It's forward. So it was just
okay,
the first time.
all right. Fuck.
Oh God.
All right. So here's what we see, and this is actually going to be like a perfect place to like end the episode. So you slam her head into the wall, and we don't see you get shot. We just see you run into the building. The bang echoes out, and we see the bullet hit the door. And so the door is here. As you're moving through, the bullet goes through the door and hits you. We see you stumble into Sunset's place, and your vision is like blurry, and I assume you're like holding your stomach because you just got shot. Take let's see how much a hunting rifle does for harm.
3, I think.
I think it might be 3.
Hunting rifle is 2 harm, far loud.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Yeah, right. It's not a sniper rifle. It's just a rifle with a scope. Okay. So you take 2 harm minus your armor, and then make that harm move.
Okay.
So you're
Am I
at
rolling
total.
am I rolling my total harm, or
No, just the harm you take.
so 1?
Yeah. Roll +1, and we'll see if you get into the unconscious.
Okay. 6.
Okay, good. All right. So yeah, I think that's what we see. We see you stagger into the room. Sunglasses only slightly askew. Yeah, blood on your hands, but not, maybe not that much blood. Yeah, we'll put a pin in it here, and at the beginning of the next episode, I'll tell you what you see. What Sunset had someone protect
Cool.
with a sniper. Let's do Hex.
Can I just say one thing before
Absolutely.
the end?
Yeah. Totally.
The last words of like the episode, I would imagine, like if it were a show, would just be Dice going, "Fuck Rolf Ball."
Totally misplaced anger. That's so good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I have a quick question about harm.
Yes.
Because last time I got 2 harm in the bar or what have you.
Mhm.
But you said that time passes. At what point does harm
Yeah, let's
go
talk about that.
or like
Does this ever go away?
Let's talk about harm. So,
yeah.
for each harm you suffer, you mark a segment of your harm countdown clock. You start in the 12 to 3 and continue around clockwise. No skipping, no multiple marks on the same one, just march around. The 3 segments before 9 o'clock, so if you can, anything before 9 o'clock is less serious. The 3 segments after 9 o'clock are more serious. When you mark from 11 to 12, your life becomes untenable. Maybe you're dead. Maybe something else happens. Before 6 o'clock, harm will go away by itself with time. 6 to 9, the harm won't get worse or better by itself. After 9, unstabilized harm will only get worse by itself.
So you have the 3, which is the only harm before 6, and that will just heal by itself.
There's 2 segments before 6. There's 12 to 3 and 3 to 6.
But it just says 3 and then 6 on the sheet.
Yeah, I don't know.
But 12 to 3 is like that first 3, right? And then 3 to 6 is like that second. So it's 2 boxes, the 1 to 3. And
Sorry, for you guys, it looks like a series of checkboxes.
Yeah.
On the printed character sheet, it's literally like a clock.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
12 to 3 is 1, and then 3 to 6 is another. Those are the first 2. It's the first half of the clock. Those will heal on their own slowly. I think you weren't like, for you particularly, you weren't mistreating yourself. You weren't.
She got punched.
I got
No,
one.
yeah, I mean, like, you took 2 harm, but the thing was, you weren't like, you if you had told me like I don't pay for my lifestyle or whatever, like you actually
okay.
like were eating and like doing that stuff. So one of your segments is gone. So you're back to 3,
Okay.
12 to 3 right now.
I just wanted to know like how that works.
Yep. The way that it works, you can you can take one bullet for free essentially. The second or third is the serious one.
Yeah.
And you'll heal on your own if you just keep resting. But if you get past a certain point, then you'll start to disintegrate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Huh?
Yeah. I guess we will. Okay, so let's do hex. So brace. Who knows you better than they did before?
I mean, I've been kind of just like wandering around this whole time.
That's true.
I don't think
So
that
you can choose instead somebody who knows you less well than they thought, or rather, not can, must.
someone must know me less well.
Yeah,
than they
someone's hex will
thought.
go down by one. This could be Dice, because maybe Dice expected you to like stick around and be a part of the deal, but you didn't. You could just pick someone at random and just be like, nope, we are just drifting apart.
I mean, I think that makes sense with Dice.
Okay.
Because she paid for my whatever and I hung out with her and that like, we were whatever
Sure
for
thing, yeah.
a second, and then she stopped paying for me, and instead of me like sticking around like she may have like expected, I was just like, no, fuck off. Like I don't like care about you. Actually.
Actually. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. All right. Ferris, who knows you better?
I think Brace knows me a little bit better.
Brace does.
In-
Okay.
Yeah, in that Brace doesn't have any idea how weird I am, but is probably getting a bit more of an idea after having been with me for a while.
Do you mean
So
Dice?
just like you like randomly like waving at me in the street, I'm just like this.
Oh, actually, would have made more sense. Yeah, Dice saw the stuff with the egg. Maybe
Yeah,
it
I
did.
didn't see any of that. I wasn't. No.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why I forgot half the session.
I don't know why I forgot exactly that. Okay.
Okay, cool.
Dice.
It's the
I
maelstrom.
will take the +1.
Okay. Cool. Tyne and Swift? I think I know the answer to this one already, but
I mean, Brace knows me better.
yeah. I think
Watching
so too.
me
She wants you drown
this-
him.
around.
Does second edition have the thing where you get a +1 +1 hex with someone when you hurt them?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So if you've got someone you need a little hex boost with, go and
No, they get +1 hex with you when
for
you
hurting
hurt
you.
them.
Yeah.
He
So,
also-
Yeah, that's what I mean. So fine, get in a
Fam-
fight with someone and let them hurt you.
Fam's got that sweet hex.
Fam knows you better
Yeah.
than before.
if
Everyone
I
in that
heal
room
people with my water, I get to know them better because I see them in their weak, injured state.
That's true. Cool. Okay. And then Dice.
Ferris knows me better. Like 100% is Ferris.
Cool. Yeah, that makes sense to me too.
Ferris watched me do things Ferris has not seen me do. Like
I don't like it either.
you've seen, business Dice and then angry Dice.
And now we have ultraviolet murder psycho dice.
Now we have I'm fucking pissed off Dice.
I mean, I probably saw you get shot by a sniper.
You probably did, yeah, or at least heard it.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, the two shots, like I think most people in town heard those.
Yeah, it's loud. The loud tag would see to that.
The loud tag would definitely.
And we're in like a valley or on a mountain, so it would like echo around like crazy.
Definitely. Cool. Nobody else, I think, has any like end of session business to attend to. So
Not that I'm aware of.
good work, team. Good apocalypsing. So again, like this is session 2, so things are kind of like still coagulating and forming, and you can see I'm like the first kind of half of the session, everybody was on their own doing their own thing, and I'm slowly kind of like drawing you together with some interconnected stuff. So we'll hopefully see where more and more of that goes. Cool. All right. Well, why don't you begin, Elf, by telling us where we can find you when we're not watching you play role-playing games right here.
You can find me in the post-apocalypse on my motorcycle, riding into the sunset. No, JK.
Perfect.
I'm Distracted Elf. I'm not nearly that cool. You can find me at twitch.tv/DistractedElf and Twitter @DistractedElf. I've been playing a lot of Tyranny. That's probably going to keep going for a while. come and join me if you want to be evil.
Yeah,
I do that a lot.
that sounds great. I like
Yeah,
evil.
this is not a new thing with tyranny.
Yeah, no, that's just part of the thing. Yeah.
I mean, side note: the last RimWorld colony that I played was a psychopath cannibal colony. They were all psychopaths and all cannibals, and I just ate all the raiders. It's really great.
That sounds
I mean, I'm not horrible. It's fine.
But I'm not a bad person. That's fair. That's okay. Cool. Andrew.
That's me.
That is you.
You can find me at such internet locales as twitch.tv/actualfactual or at commuting crow on Twitter. Things that I do on my Twitch channel are I'm designing a game, and so you can watch me do that. I'm going to be playtesting this game on Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific with Distracted Elf, who you may know, Adam Coble.
Oh my god, I know that guy.
Probably haven't heard of. Trista Ray, who is queen of the memes, and Inspector Beans. And we're all going to stumble through the train wreck of a game that I currently have in its like tiny little nascent state. And we're going to shit all over it and tear it apart, and then I'm going to rebuild it.
It's gonna be messy. I'm super
Hell
excited.
yeah.
Cool. Dave, tell us about eggs. How do you feel about eggs, Dave?
I'm really sad about egg.
I still
What is
laugh. You can't say eggs without like triggering me right now. Like my laughter.
I love Ferris. So
Tell us about eggs, Dave.
Tell us about eggs.
I don't know where they come from.
Chicken.
If you want to join me on the journey of finding out where eggs come from, follow me on Twitter at Dave__human. I mean, I don't actually do anything, so my entire segment is a joke about eggs.
Perfect.
There we go. Next person, please.
Dave is the Eggman. Cuckoo, Kachu. Blue Jay.
Oh man, that's just the best. I'm Blue Jay. I stream stuff occasionally, I guess. Twitch.tv/BlueJay, Twitter BlueJay_712. I have the best group of role-playing friends in the whole world.
Oh.
They're all
You
really
play with another group?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for us, right?
Harsh.
fucking nerds. Yeah, and I don't know. I'm not as weird and creepy and murderlicious as Brees actually, but I don't know. Maybe you guys have never met me for real, except for those two. So.
Well, I mean, weird and cool, right? Like those are your highlights.
Weird and cool.
Yeah, when
IRL.
it's a weird thing. Like when Blue Jay and I met at TwitchCon, I kept having uncontrollable like painful headaches and nosebleeds the day after.
Yeah.
Whenever I tried to
No,
say
now that
anything.
you mention it, like I remember
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah, weird.
Oh, let's move on.
Let's not dwell on
So
this.
yeah, so
part
if you wanna get some in-brain puppet strings, just pop on over to Blue Jay's Twitch channel. As for me, I'm Adam Cole. I am MC of this little mess and dungeon master of our Thursday D&D game, which you can check out right here if you want to see the players kicking the living shit out of me every week. It's pretty fun. I also do. Yeah, I also do a like a post show on Thursdays at 3:00 Pacific for this show. So if you want to see me do GM prep and stuff for that, that's going to be available. And then all of our content goes live on YouTube on the weekends. So if you missed anything during the week, Saturday and Sunday mornings, all of that stuff pops up on the YouTube, or you can watch it here on this channel. You can follow me on Twitter at Skinny Ghost. You can follow Roll20 on Twitter at Roll20 app, and you too can play role-playing games. It's easy. Just get some friends. That's the hard part, and then make them play RPGs with you. That's the easy part.
I mean, I didn't get friends. I just met people in a bar.
The secret is that playing role-playing games with people sometimes makes them into your friends. Don't tell anybody. I know.
Also, sometimes you're bitter enemies.
Yeah, you can be both. You can
Yeah.
be both. I feel like we have that relationship.
And we do.
Cool. So we'll be back on Thursday with more D&D and with the post-apocalypse world. And go and check out everybody's stuff. In the meantime, we will see you then. Thank you for coming, everybody. Later.